My career's kind of probably followed quite a number of you in the room. I did start as an apprentice in 1976 in Whitcoulls in Christchurch. It's been a hell of a journey. I say to people that's not in the industry, I say to people I started at the top of the career as a printer and I worked down into senior management. When you look at the convergence of where the media is going and the impact on our business of digital, I thought what I'd do is go to the Googles of the world and see what they came up with the Craig Amos and what Facebook or what LinkedIn would have for Craig Amos. So if you look at if you go to LinkedIn or you go to Google, there are 65 Craig Amoses on LinkedIn. The guy on the left, he's not me. The guy on the top right owns a signwriting company, close, but he's not me. I found 12 million search results on Google for Craig Amos. I had to get to page 27 to actually one about me. There's a sign writer, there's a painter, there's fishermen, but none of those are me. So it is an interesting reality of where's the real person, and obviously it's the more search words you use, the closer you get. But it is an interesting kind of paradigm about the context that we put ourselves in, and in the printing industry moves towards this convergence of digital media and digital content and digital delivery. It's then around, well, what's the relevance to the individual? So really my career in a snapshot is I started as an apprentice printer. I changed in sheet fed. I changed to cold set at Whitcoulls when they bought their first web press or bought their only web press. I got a lot of fond memories at Whitcoulls, but the main one was I think about the management when I was 16 or 17, 18 years old, and I come to a business decision. I think, what would Whitcoulls do? And I do the complete opposite. It was a fantastic company, the best equipment, unbelievable. It was like 400 people worked in that Christchurch sites, but I did my time. The rows and rows and rows of equipment, the experience you got, the supervision and the passion in that time, and unfortunately some of the worst management the industry's ever had. So I moved to Australia in 82, which is why I've kind of got a funny accent. I moved to Heatset Web Offset. I went to a fantastic company called Progress Press. It was one of the founding companies of the PMP Group, owned by News Limited, run an unbelievably well-run company. I can remember in 1991, in the first 5 weeks of the financial year, we had about $7 million of EBIT in the bottom drawer. And so the boss went out and bought 3 new presses. That's how profitable the industry used to be. I left PMP in the group of a number of roles. I left in 2007 as the group's operations director. And I worked in a whole range of industries consulting, because one of the things we don't realise as a business and an industry is we make strawberry jam out of horse shit every day. And we just, you look at it and what we do under the challenges we have and the time pressures, our business and our industry has been challenged for quite some time. Challenged for different reasons and challenged in different ways, but we've been challenged for a long time. And so we have within this room and within our manufacturing environments and our sales environments really good crop of people that really understand actually how to make the business every day. And so when you actually go into other industries that haven't been challenged at all or haven't been challenged until recently, you can bring enormous skills and enormous experience because you have just done more with less for a long period of time. And I'm passionate about how the industry will continue. If I go a little bit sideways, PMP New Zealand's had a real journey over the last couple of years. I came back to PMP a couple of years ago, which I was surprised that I actually ended back up in the business. And then the boss said to me, "Oh, can you give New Zealand a hand because there's a lot going on?" And then I turned around one day and I had the business. But there's been a hell of a journey over the last couple of years, but we've just had our most successfully financial year in pretty much the last decade. And so in trying times and prices going down and fierce competition and lunatics in sheet-fed land giving it away for nothing, we've had an absolute ripper year, and pretty much every division of our 5 divisions has gone gangbusters. So, Our worst example was one of our business units made 30% more EBIT than it did the last year. That's our worst one. Best one doubled EBIT of last year. So you can do it, and some of that you'll see later on in Charles's presentation, but and some of it you'll see by simply the sheer firepower that we've got actually at enterprise site. But it was really not equipment. It's not about closing 6 sites, and it's not about the redundancies that we had to go through. It's actually about a team of people that get up every day and put their pants on one leg at a time and go to the work and do the best they possibly can. And when you can harness that sort of intellectual property across your business, and you're easy to deal with, you deliver what you promise, and your pricing's there or thereabouts, you can have a recipe that actually grows your business every day. So not to bore you to death, but you can send me as much spam email as you like, but it pretty much always ends up in the junk box, in my junk email box. You can put as many branding advertisers on TV as you like between the footy, but I just fast forward because I record everything. But if you put something in this letterbox, it normally pretty much gets into my household. So today's paradigm is really around the new normal, is really around how do you actually converge the whole lot together. How do you get paid for your digital content? That used to be paid for by the print masthead. How do we, and that's all these things that are challenges, and I think it is within the industry to actually understand those things and converge them together and make money. But there is nothing like understanding your equipment and understanding your customers' needs. In New Zealand, the P&P business is lucky because we've got digital printing, sheet-fed printing, heat-set printing. We deliver to 4,300 retail destinations twice a week, and we deliver to pretty much 1 million households twice a week. So when you look at what we can do and what we can deliver, will we move into other sorts of businesses in a few years' time? Yes, we will, because our customers will have bigger challenges and they'll have problems, and therefore we'll help move into those fields to help solve those problems. And it's really about evolving your business to what your customers require. And finally, less is more. Unfortunately, within New Zealand, I've closed 6 sites. So I've worked for the P&P Group for 27 years and I've closed 16 sites. That's a hell of a lot of people. That's a hell of a lot of equipment. We had a fantastic site, fantastic group of people up in Warkworth, and we had every antique piece of kit that you'd ever want to have in one museum. Unfortunately, we were running it as a commercial business. Those people did a fantastic job under very trying conditions. There was 140 people that produced 200 tonnes a week, and now we've got a new press, one of our fleet in Enterprise Park that does it with 4 people per shift and can do twice that volume in a week. And so some of it's technology, some of it's moving the business forward. But one of the things that we've done really well over the last few years, I think as an industry, we have sweated our blue collar and our mechanical production assets, but not necessarily we've sweated our white collar and our intellectual assets. And one of the things that we've done really well in New Zealand over the last couple of years is actually harness and sweat our white collar and intellectual assets. Because if you're a production guy and you come to work at the end of in the beginning of shift, and it might be night shift, and you start at 10 o'clock and you go home at 6, there's some real tangible ways that you can judge your self-esteem. In the good old days when I ran a press, you'd do 400,000 copies in a shift, and you'd say you'd hit 405 or 420,000, and there was always a slab of beer for the amount of best run for the week or best run for the month. And you could actually walk away with some really tangible, I did a good job. You can judge yourself, it was good quality, and everything ran well. But for a whole range of our businesses, it's the same shit every day. You come to work and nothing ever finishes. It's a grind. And for us, it's really got to be able to grab the opportunities to take your wins on the way through and you build your self-esteem as a business by delivering what you're required to your customers and what they expect. So that's me, and thanks for your time.